Hey guys, it's Trish. Welcome back. I'm so sorry, I've been on a bit of a hiatus because I've been working on this video and it's taking a lot longer than I thought it would. So I figured I would do a video that still kind of tells you a little bit about myself. And that is talking about Paramore, Hayley Williams to be specific. Hayley Williams has 2 albums and I knew that she made music separate from Paramore, but I had never listened to it. Last night I was like, I love Paramore. I may as well listen to Hayley Williams' 2 albums. And so I sit down, I'm reading this book specifically. I'm about to start reading this book and I listened to the first song and then I was like, this is actually pretty good. And I think this would make a good video to like go through her 2 albums and like rate them with you guys. So if you don't know, Hayley Williams is the lead singer in this band called Paramore. I think Paramore is something that's pretty popular and like most people know about. And the first song that I heard from them is probably Ain't It Fun or Still Into You years ago from their 2013 album. I really love those songs, but I never really got into Paramore until about sophomore year of high school, which was like 2018 for me. I started listening to their 2017 album After Laughter and I absolutely loved it. And then over time I just started listening to more of their music and I was like, I love this band. Hayley Williams has made 2 solo projects in 2020 and 2021. So I'm excited to listen to them with you guys. A few updates. I am in a new location. I'm in my apartment. So also sorry if I'm talking quietly, but I do have a roommate. I'm still kind of anxious because like what if they hear me talking to myself? I'm currently standing up and I don't usually do that for videos. So we will see if I have to sit down because I have a problem with standing for too long. So Hayley Williams' debut album is called Petals for Armor. I think the lead single was the first song, which is called Simmer. I just listened to it. I really like it. That is so cool. She's doing these ad libs, and if you listen to it with headphones, or if you can hear it from my laptop, you probably can't. It kind of does this thing where it like jumps from one ear to the next. Like, that's so sick. I'm trying to figure out if that's like a synthesizer or a guitar. So at the beginning of the song, it's obviously very like percussive heavy and even like ad-lib heavy where she's like doing all those vocal things. Percussion, it's like kind of like driving the song. I think it's pretty fun. I think it's really cool and I think it like catches people's attention. I love that. Like that's so pretty. I think her voice is so pretty. Hear that like she says simmer down and then she like goes down and then you get into the second verse and you hear this guitar that's like now it's driving the song. I wonder if the verses are like opposite meanings. I have to look at the lyrics real quick. I have to go look at the lyrics to see if like the verses have like opposite meanings because in the beginning it's kind of like very intense and then she says in the first chorus like at the end she says she needs to simmer down and then it gets like more melodic and calmer and I think that's interesting. Storytelling. I don't know if storytelling is the right. I think this talks about like personal things in her life as well. I do love when artists tell stories that don't relate to their own personal life, but I also think that the vulnerability of sharing things about their personal life through their music with their fans is also something I really admire. I really do like this song. I think it's a great opener to this album. I'm not sure what the rest of this album is going to sound like, but if it sounds like this song, I think it's going to be great.
Don't nobody tell me that God don't have a sense of humor. Now that I finally wanna live, the ones I love are dying, but I can't leave it all.
I think the music in the chorus being disjointed has something to do with like the actual song from what I'm understanding. This song is about grief and I think that it has a very mellow tone to it, which makes sense. I think it's an interesting shift, but it also from the initial song on the album, but I also do think it's powerful that she's talking about so many different emotions just by the beginning of this album. You would think that these songs would be far apart from each other, but I think that anger and grief kind of do relate to each other. What she does with her music so far is that the music tells the story of the lyrics. So when she's talking about like, in the beginning, she kind of talks about like, obviously she's living alone and living alone is a very freeing journey. It's different from living with roommates or living with a partner, or living with your family. You feel alone, but at the same time, you can do whatever you want, whenever you want. And that's a very freeing feeling. And so she's talking about that in this song. But in the first verse, she says, There's the fattest hornet I've ever seen in my entire life out my window, and somebody's vacuuming something. I don't even. Okay, so she's on the walls of her home. You can tell that she's alone, right? So there's signs that I'm alone. I keep on every light, talk to my dog, he don't mind. So those are things that like almost sound lonely when you're living alone, right? I do keep on every light. And then in the chorus, there's this like thing that she's doing, and then like you can kind of hear, it sounds almost like either a warped version of her voice or like a man singing it, but it's kind of like, it sounds like something eerie is following her, which you would like almost feel when you're alone. You're like nervous and scared. But then she talks about how she's like free, and then when she says free, it kind of like hits this like upbeat note. I don't know, I think stories that she tells with her music, it's like so intricate, and like I really enjoy this. I love it so far.
Pair of eyes for a little vampire baby. So why you creeping round here?
Fattest hornet I've ever seen.
Why you creeping round here?
I'm so sorry about that like vacuuming sound. I literally don't know what that is. Okay, so from what I'm understanding from the lyrics, it might be talking about like something like a vampire that's sucking all the fun out of her life, and then she says it starts out as innocent, so maybe it's like about a friendship or a relationship, and then it like slowly starts devolving into something that becomes toxic and takes the fun out of your life. Again, with this storytelling, like the parallels and the metaphor, I think she does a really good job at that. Maybe I'll stop talking about that. There's a cool contrast between like chorus, where she starts talking like, why you creeping around here, and it sounds like so like angry almost, and then with her singing in the verses, it's like very light. Here, I'll show you. Do you see? It's like very light and pretty, and then she stops.
So why you creeping round here?
It's totally different. I think that contrast is really cool.
I wanted him to kiss me how, with open mouth and open mouth, we keep our distance now. Sudden desire.
That's so cool. She did it again, where she does like a really like lighter singing in the verses, and then like something heavier in the chorus. But with this chorus, it's very vampy, and it kind of reminds me of what Hayley Williams would be known for, something like really vampy, like in Paramore. I really like that. As we know, Hayley Williams is a great vocalist. I just love how she experiments, like she plays with her range and like the types of songs that she can do. All right, so that was the end of disc 1, so we're going on to disc 2. I'm assuming that these tell different parts of a story.
I hate to send you this, but
I hear a dog.
I'm gonna come out right now.
Every morning I wake up from a dream of you. I beat it like a dead horse, I beat it like a drum. Oh, I stayed with you too long.
I had to look up what the context of this song was, and apparently she's referring to her ex-husband. Throughout the lyrics, you can see like it's kind of talking about heavier subjects, but she uses this really upbeat music to sing about it. I think that I love that contrast. There's a Paramore song, I think it's Fake Happy. I just think this song, like Fake Happy, is a very good example where she talks about I'm faking being happy in these public situations, but the song is so upbeat, it's like a total contrast. I love when artists do that. This is called My Friend.
Little wrinkle by
Bass guitar.
your eye, I never noticed till right now. Little vicious tiger stripes. My friend, when the blood is dry, my friend.
I like this song. It's kind of more mellow. It has great bass. I love a song with like great bass, and I think Hayley's just talking about a really good friendship that she has, but I think it just has a simple message, and I love the production. I think it's great. Okay, so moving on to the next song. It's called Over Yet.
If there's resistance,
Oh.
it makes you stronger. Come and let me, baby, if you wanna try to get out of your head. Yes, break a sweat, baby, taste something. Oh, yeah.
This song's pretty interesting. So it has this really cool, very fast, I think it's bass guitar, and I love guitar, love bass, bass guitar, obviously one of my favorite instruments to listen to. So I think it's really cool. It drives throughout the entire song. Then when we get into like this, is it the second verse? I'm not sure. It's like, it's almost like dancey, like 80s or so, I think, maybe even 70s, but it's like, do you hear it? Just slightly. It's not totally overpowering, but like you can feel it. It's an interesting shift. I think some of these songs have such interesting shifts from one song to the next.
I've seen your body. They are separate. Roses, 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 roses.
Okay, so what I'm understanding is this is a feminist piece. I know it's a mellower track, so songs like that I have to listen to like multiple times to really get into it.
Open your mouth. Say something more. I've spent a while at your door. I can't seem to remember why we ever.
I like that the music and her voice did the thing.
Can't seem to remember why I spent the weekend at home.
Tonal change in the song.
I know I freaked you out. I just wanna talk about it.
So this is like a ballad, which I realized. Sadder song. I do think from the previous song to this song, the music does flow all together. Tonally, it's interesting. I think these songs are very interesting put together on the same disc. She talks first about a relationship that isn't that great. Then she talks about a friend who's been with her through it all, which is makes sense together. Then she talks about Over Yet, which I don't really grasp what that song's about. Okay, it seems like just like a song about motivating people. This next song is about Rose, Lotus, Violet, Iris. Is more about like feminism and stuff like that. And so that is kind of another empowering song. Two empowering songs next to each other about totally different topics. They sound so different. And then Why We Ever is just kind of talking about someone who she's lost in her life. It's just not there in her life anymore and she wishes she could work it out. These songs, I don't know if they go together. I always find it interesting why artists do certain things with their track list. Like Taylor Swift gives us whiplash a lot on her albums. I'm like, okay. Now we move on to disc 3. First song, Pure Love.
The opposite of love is fear. If I want pure love, must stop acting so tough.
Do you hear that? That gives me like an 80s feel. It's like a synth thing. Cool, right? So she's talking about wanting love and having to like be vulnerable and stuff like that. I love the I feel like it's an 80s influence, not totally sure, but I really like whatever it is influenced by. I really like that feeling. It's just like upbeat. Well, she's also talking about vulnerability, and then she belts a little bit, which I think is because she's talking about being vulnerable, and then like that is almost vulnerability.
My feet won't touch the ground beneath me. If anybody asks you, I'm taking. If anybody wants to know.
Okay, so this song feels more lighthearted, just talking about if anybody's asking, I'm taken and he's taken too. So she's just saying she's not single. Be crazy, but I feel like it doesn't do anything like crazy, but not every song on an album has to be crazy. Oh, I like this.
Sugar on the rim. Sugar on the rim.
Taste the shame when you pick my wounds. You took me by surprise.
Do I like this one? I don't know if I like it. I don't think I do though.
How lucky I feel to be in my body again. You wanna look inside of me and just watch me bloom.
So in the beginning she has very minimalistic music and she just goes heavy on the vocals and she's just singing about feeling like herself again, but she's like screaming it almost, and I feel like that really works so well with what she's saying. I love the way again that she shows us exactly what she's talking about through the music. Also the music's super upbeat and groovy, which works well with the song lyrics. Okay, this is the last track on the album called Crystal Clear. Let's see.
I don't wanna shut you out. I don't wanna rush around. I'm giving to the fear. So I'm giving to the fear.
Okay, Again, this is another song about her being vulnerable, jumping right into a relationship. I think that this entire album is mostly just about, this is a new basis for her to share things about her life, about her being vulnerable, about her being angry, talking about different emotions that she's felt in her life with her fan base and just like through her art. And I think that it's a great introduction to a new artist, even though you've heard Hayley Williams before. This is her solo, separate from her own band, just giving like her audience an introduction to who she is, what she's been going through, how she's feeling in the moment of writing those songs. I think that it's a really great introduction. I think it's a good body of work. Now, is every song spectacular and amazing? I don't think so. I don't know, sometimes when you make a debut album, I feel like it's better to go shorter and create like a few hard-hitting songs than to make a lot of songs that aren't as strong and as powerful and then have like your new audience be conflicted. However, I think because she already has such a large fan base, she doesn't really have to suffer from that. I don't think every song on this album was phenomenal, but I do think there are some great standout songs. Particularly, I love some songs on disc 1, Simmer, her debut single, I'm pretty sure, and then Sudden Desire. I also really liked Why We Ever, and Crystal Clear was a great. I don't think it's an album that I would ever go again and sit through and listen to the whole thing, but again, there are some standout tracks that I think are really great on there. Hey guys, so I wanted to go into this video doing Hayley Williams' entire discography, but after like doing the first album, I realized this would probably be way too long, and I just didn't do an outro, so I'm sorry, but here I am doing it right now for you guys. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will be bringing back content soon. I'm so sorry I was away for so long. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye guys.